She's blind. She won't remember. Patricia laughs. She tilts the phone, careful with the angle, making sure the screen faces her mother-in-law, Mrs. Nyla. No reaction. Mrs. Nyla sits tied to the chair, hands bound, like she did something wrong. "Smile," Patricia says, light and playful. "My followers love this." Behind her, two friends laugh. Patricia steps closer. "Guys," she says to the camera, "look at her. Won't even blink." She waves her hand inches from Mrs. Nyla's face. Nothing. Then she grabs the wine glass from the table. Red wine hits Mrs. Nyla's face. It runs down her cheek, soaks her blouse, drips onto the tile. Patricia laughs again. "See," she says, smiling at the screen. "Blind people are funny. She can't even fight back." Comments keep rolling. Patricia lowers the phone and leans in. "Your son is gone," she says, voice low. "I'm in charge now." She straightens up. "You do what I say every time." Mrs. Nyla's fingers tighten around the rope, not in panic, in control. She still says nothing. No tears, no shaking, no fear. The room grows quiet. Even Patricia's smile slows, because something feels off. What kind of mother-in-law stays that calm while being humiliated in front of strangers? If this is your first time here, comment below and tell me where you're watching from.
The car slows as it turns onto Cedar Ridge Drive in Houston, Texas. Late morning sun, quiet street, clean lawns, mailboxes lined in a row. The house at the end looks perfect. White walls, sharp edges, two SUVs parked side by side. Mrs. Nyla steps out of the car, slow, careful. Her cane taps the concrete once, then again. She lifts her face to the sun. Patricia is already halfway to the door, smiling. "Come on, Mama," she says. "You'll love it." Juma walks between them, carrying both bags. He watches his mother's feet, ready to catch her if she slips. Juma was known in Houston, offshore drilling manager, owner of Juma Links Shelter, a real estate construction company pulling in millions each year. People called him disciplined, respectful, a success story. He took care of his mother. Mrs. Nyla lost her sight to glaucoma years back. Juma flew her overseas, Europe, private doctors. They tried everything, but her vision never fully came back. Juma accepted it, adjusted his life around her, learned her steps, her timing, her silence. After his father died, it was just the two of them. Then came Patricia, loud, online famous, always filming, always smiling. They met at a charity event downtown and got married. Now here they were. Inside the house, the floors shine. The walls hold framed photos that feel staged, wedding shots, group smiles. A clock ticks above the hallway, loud, steady. Patricia sets her purse down with care. "So, Mama," she says, opening her arms, "you should feel at home." Mrs. Nyla stands just inside the door. She does not move. Her head turns slightly, left to right, like she is mapping the space. Juma clears his throat. "Mom," he says, "this is it." Patricia steps closer. "We'll take good care of you here," she says. "You'll be comfortable." Mrs. Nyla nods once. "Thank you." Her voice is flat, calm. Patricia's smile slips for half a second. They move into the living room. Sunlight spills across a cream couch. A glass table sits untouched. Mrs. Nyla's cane taps the rug. She stops. "You need help, Mom?" Juma asks. "I'm fine," she says. She steps forward, slow, controlled. Patricia watches, arms crossing. "So," Patricia says again, turning to Juma, "we should talk schedules." Mrs. Nyla tilts her head. "What schedules, dear?" Patricia laughs. "Just house stuff, Mama." Juma shifts. "We'll figure it out." The guest room is perfect, corners sharp, no personal items. "There we go," Patricia says. "Your space." Mrs. Nyla sets her bag down, touches the bed once, pulls her hand away. "It's nice, thank you." Hungry?" Patricia asks, opening the fridge. She closes it again before an answer. "Not yet." Mrs. Nyla sits, hands flat, listening to the clock. "So," Patricia says, scrolling her phone, "we'll make this work." Mrs. Nyla turns toward her voice. "Yes, dear," she says, "we will." She does not smile, not once, like she already knows what this house is really for.
"I'll be gone 6 months," Juma says, pulling the zipper closed. "That's a long time." Patricia leans against the counter, phone in hand, not looking up. Mrs. Nyla sits at the small kitchen table, cane resting on her knee, back straight, eyes forward. She listens to everything, the fridge hum, the clock ticking, the scrape of Juma's boots. "I've been thinking," Juma says, voice low, careful. "We should get help, someone during the day, a maid, just for cleaning, cooking sometimes." Patricia's thumb stops scrolling. She lifts her gaze. "A maid?" "Yes," he says, "just until I'm back." Patricia laughs. "No, darling, that's not needed." Juma frowns. "But she's family," Patricia interrupts. "I got her." Mrs. Nyla tilts her head slightly. "That's kind of you." Patricia smiles, quick, controlled. "Of course, I wouldn't let anything happen to her." Juma shifts, uneasy. He looks from Patricia to his mother. "It's a lot," he says. "I won't be here." Patricia steps closer. "You don't trust me?" Her tone is light. Her eyes are hard. "That's not what I'm saying," Juma replies. She picks up her mug, tilts it slightly. "Relax. I'll handle the house. I'll handle her. You just focus on work." Mrs. Nyla's fingers tighten around her cane. Juma notices. He steps forward, hand on her shoulder. "You okay, Mom?" "Yeah, I'm fine," she says. Patricia smiles. "See? Nothing to worry about. We're all adults here." Outside, a garbage truck rumbles down Cedar Ridge Drive. Juma glances at his watch. "I need to leave." He lifts the duffel, sets it by the door. Before stepping out, he adjusts a photo frame on the wall. A tiny camera hidden inside the frame. In the ceiling, an LED bulb looks normal. No one would notice it, but it records everything. No blinking lights, no noise. Patricia adjusts his collar as they step toward the entryway. "You're going to be fine. We'll be fine." Mrs. Nyla rises slowly. "I'll pray for your safety, son." Juma smiles. "Thank you, Mom." He hesitates, scans the kitchen, the hallway, the living room. Something feels off. "You sure you don't want help?" he asks again. Patricia's smile tightens, fades. "I said I got it. Stop worrying." Mrs. Nyla steps forward. "Go, do your work." Juma nods. He grabs his bag and leaves. The door clicks shut. Juma's car rolls away down Cedar Ridge Drive, tires brushing trimmed lawns. Patricia waits. 3 seconds. Then she screams. "Yes!" She spins, throws her arms up, kicks off her shoes. Music blasts from the home theater speakers. Her mother-in-law, Mrs. Nyla, flinches. She grips the edge of the hallway table. The music hits her like a wave. She cannot see the chaos, but she feels it. The vibrations in the floor, the shift in air, the echo of Patricia's laughter. Patricia dances across the rug. "Whoa, finally," she sings. "I control everything now." She rips open a bag of chips. Crumbs spill. She pushes them with her foot. "Clean this up," she says, sharp. Mrs. Nyla bends slowly. Knees creak. Fingers sweep the crumbs one by one. She counts the sounds, maps the space she cannot see. No words. "That's better," Patricia says, chewing loudly, arms crossed. By noon, the house has changed. Lunch comes, goes.
Patricia eats. Mrs. Nyla gets scraps. "Here, don't waste it," she says, sliding a plate across. "Bones, leftovers." "Thank you," Mrs. Nyla murmurs. Her hands hover briefly over the plate, confirming its contents without seeing. Patricia laughs, scrolls on her phone, legs sprawled on the couch, queen of her space. Mrs. Nyla moves slow, one hand on the counter, the other sliding along the edge of the table. Laundry, dishes, every step is measured. She navigates by memory and sound. Her hands shake once, just a flick, then she steadies them. "Careful, don't break anything," Patricia calls. Nodded. The next day, the heater clicks off. Cold air slides across the floor. Mrs. Nyla shivers slightly, pulls her thin sweater tighter. "Saving power," Patricia says, voice light, sharp. "You don't need all that heat. Black women are strong. You'll be fine." Mrs. Nyla swallowed hard. The phone rings. Patricia answers. "Yeah, girl, I have the house all to myself." Her eyes flick, but Mrs. Nyla does not react. She does not need to. Her fingers trace the chair arm. Her ears catch every inflection, every movement. Patricia stretches out on the couch again. The house moves only when she allows it. "You always this quiet?" Patricia asks. "Yes, dear. Silence is golden," Mrs. Nyla replies. Patricia studies her for a long moment, then shrugs. "Good. Makes things easier." Unknowing to her, somewhere above them, something keeps watching.
The phone vibrates in Juma's hand. He stands on the steel deck of the offshore rig, sunlight bouncing off the Gulf waters in every direction. The air smells like salt and oil. Machinery hums. Men in hard hats move with purpose, boots striking metal. Juma steps aside near the railing and looks down at his screen. The living room appears. Cedar Ridge Drive, Houston, Texas. Bright daylight through the windows. The same couch, the same table. His mom stands near the sink, holding a cup with both hands. Patricia enters the frame. She looks relaxed, confident. Her hair is done. Her phone is in her hand, angled just enough to catch her own face in the reflection of the window. "What are you doing?" Patricia asks. Mrs. Nyla turns toward the sound. "I was getting water," she says. Patricia scoffs. "For what?" she replies. "You just drank." Mrs. Nyla pauses. "I'm thirsty," she says. Patricia steps closer. The camera catches her arm move fast. The cup tips. Water spills across the floor. Mrs. Nyla slips. Her foot slides. Her body jerks sideways. She grabs for the counter but misses. Her shoulder hits the cabinet. She drops hard onto the tile. The sound cracks through Juma's chest. He covers his mouth with his hand. Patricia stands over her. "Get up, lady," she says. "Don't be dramatic." Mrs. Nyla tries again. Fails. Patricia laughs. "You're always in the way, every time." She steps over the spilled water and walks out of frame. The camera stays on Mrs. Nyla. She doesn't cry out. She doesn't call for help. She stays there, breathing slow, waiting for the shaking to stop. Juma turns away from the screen. He presses his forehead against the metal railing. The sun burns his eyes. His chest tightens until it hurts. Juma looks back at the phone. Her mother is on her feet now, holding the counter. Her face is calm again. Patricia comes back into view, holding her phone up. "Look what you made me do," she says, pointing the camera at the wet floor. "You're going to clean that." Mrs. Nyla nods. "Yes," she says. Juma's jaw tightens. A horn sounds on the rig, signaling a shift change. Men gather their gear.
Someone laughs nearby. Life continues. Juma stays where he is. He watches his mother straighten up. For a split second, her face turns toward the camera. Her eyes stay empty, but something in her expression changes, just for a moment. Not fear, not pain, something else. Juma freezes. Then Patricia's voice cuts through again. "Hey," she snaps, "I said hurry up!" Mrs. Nyla turns away. The screen fills with motion as she moves out of frame. Juma locks the phone and grips it tight. The question presses down on him harder than the heat, heavier than the steel under his boots. If he can see this, why hasn't he stopped it yet?
"Smile," Patricia commanded Mrs. Nyla. She leaned closer. "Your son is calling. Don't mess this up." She lifts the phone higher, framing her face just right. Sunlight pours through the living room window, bright and clean. The couch looks perfect, pillows straight, no signs of tension. The call connects. Juma's face fills the screen. He's in a small break room on the offshore rig, hard hat on the table, Gulf water visible through the window behind him. "There you are," Patricia says, sweet. "Signal finally worked." Juma nods once. His eyes move fast. He scans the room behind her. "Everything okay?" he asks. "Great," Patricia replies. "Amazing, actually." She laughs. Too quick. "House is quiet. Cedar Ridge Drive is boring as ever." She turns slightly so the camera catches the clean kitchen, the sunlit hallway. Then she reaches out and pulls Mrs. Nyla into frame. "Mama, say hi," Patricia says. Mrs. Nyla stiffens. The phone is warm in her hand when Patricia presses it into her palm. Juma looks at his mother. He goes still. "Mom," he says. She smiles, small, controlled. "I'm fine, son," she says. Her voice is soft, polite. Juma's jaw tightens. He knows that tone. He's heard it before, long ago, back when his father used to say everything was okay, too. "You sure?" Juma asks. Patricia answers before Nyla can. "She's doing great," Patricia says, "helping around the house, keeping busy." Mrs. Nyla nods. "Yes," she says, "everything is good." Silence stretches. Juma leans closer to the screen. His eyes lock on his mom's face. Not her smile, her eyes. They flick to the side, just once. Juma inhales slowly. "How's the neighborhood?" he asks, casual. Patricia waves a hand. "Some old HOA lady stopped by, but it was nothing." Juma's brows pull together. "HOA?" he repeats. Patricia shrugs. "People complain about everything." She laughs again. Mrs. Nyla's fingers curl around the edge of the phone. She feels the weight of Juma's stare. "Did you sleep okay?" Juma asks her. "Yes," she replies. Another pause. Juma nods slowly. "All right," he says. "I gotta get back." "Of course," Patricia says. "We miss you." She reaches over and takes the phone from Nyla. As the call is about to end, Juma speaks again. "Mom?" Patricia freezes. "Yes," Nyla answers. "If you need anything," Juma continues, choosing his words, "you tell me directly." Patricia smiles hard. "We all talk," she says. "No secrets." Juma doesn't smile back. The call ends. The screen goes black. Patricia exhales. She tosses the phone onto the couch. "Why do you look like that?" she snaps. Mrs. Nyla lowers her hands. "Like what?" she asks. "Like you're trying to say something. You think you're slick?" "No," Nyla replies. "I just answered." Patricia steps closer. "If you ever make me look bad again," she says quietly, "I won't be nice." Mrs. Nyla nods. "I understand," she says. Patricia scoffs and walks off toward the patio. Mrs. Nyla stays behind. Across the ocean, Juma sits alone in the break room. The phone rests on the table.
He doesn't move. He opens the app again. The screen loads. Multiple camera feeds appear. Living room, kitchen, hallway. Daylight everywhere. Juma's face tightens. He taps one feed. His mother, Mrs. Nyla, stands by the window, still, waiting. Juma's thumb hovers over the screen. His breathing slows. A plan is forming, and whatever he's about to do, there's no turning back.
The backyard on Cedar Ridge Drive feels alive. Sunlight bounces off the white siding. The grill smokes lightly. Music plays loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Patricia laughs. Her friends are around, drinks in hand, selfies snapping every few seconds. "More wine," Patricia shouts. "She needs to join the party." Mrs. Nyla sits in a chair near the patio table, her wrists tied lightly with a scarf, just enough to keep her from moving quickly. The knot is soft, but firm. She doesn't struggle. She doesn't protest. Patricia picks up a wine bottle, tilts it toward Nyla's head. Red liquid spills slowly over her hair. The room bursts with laughter. "Oh my God," one friend says. "That's messed up." Patricia smirks. "She's blind. She won't remember." The words hit harder than the wine. The group laughs again. Selfie sticks wave. Someone posts a story. Comments scroll live on a screen. "Lol, that's savage." Nyla tilts her head slightly. One tear rolls down her cheek. Sunlight catches it, a tiny sparkle. Her jaw tightens. Silence. A moment stretches between the laughter and music. One of Patricia's friends leans closer. "You're really enjoying this, huh?" Patricia flicks her hair. "Of course, she can take it. Black women are strong." Another laugh. Mrs. Nyla sits perfectly still. Her fingers curl around the chair. She doesn't speak. She doesn't move. She feels everything. Every sound. Every joke. Every slight. One friend tilts her head, frowning. "I don't know. Feels weird. Why are we doing this?" Patricia waves her off. "Chill. It's a prank. She won't even know." Nyla's eyes stay forward, empty at first glance, but her mind is sharp. Every move, every laugh, every insult, stored, filed away. A glass slips from the table, shatters, red liquid spills onto the concrete. Patricia laughs, leaning on her friend. "Oops, guess she's cleaning that too." Nyla doesn't react, not outwardly. Her chest rises and falls slowly, calm, quiet. The music shifts, a new beat. Patricia dances near the pool, phone recording. She calls out, "Smile for the followers." One friend nudges Patricia. "You think this is too much?" Patricia waves. "Nah, it's fine. She can handle it. Look at her. Not a single complaint." Nyla's fingers tighten slightly, just enough for Patricia to miss it, a subtle movement. Her head tilts toward the sunlit patio edge, a faint smile but not playful, calculating. The friends notice nothing. Laughter fills the air again. Nyla's breath is steady. Her face doesn't break. Her jaw stays firm. But inside, her mind ticks like a clock. She remembers everything, every shove, every spilled drink, every joke whispered in the wrong moment. Nyla tilts her head just slightly, listening, calm, and for the first time that afternoon, the balance in the yard feels uneven. A shadow of anticipation hangs over the group. The question lingers in the sunlight, heavy and silent. What will happen if the blind woman in the chair decides she's done pretending? "I'm serious," Patricia says. "I'll divorce him, and I'll take half. Everything he has." One friend shifts uneasily on the chair next to her. "Are you sure he's done like that?" Patricia laughs, sharp, confident. She waves a hand. "He's in love. He'd never see it coming. I'm telling you, it's easy money." Another friend raises an eyebrow. "You think he won't fight it?" Patricia smirks. "Baby, come on. He's always thinking about his mom. That's his problem. I just play nice, act sweet. That's all it takes." The group chuckles, sipping their drinks. Mrs. Nyla stands a few feet away, under the sun near the kitchen doorway. Her hands rest lightly on the counter. She folds a napkin slowly. Every laugh, every boast reaches her. She doesn't flinch, doesn't interrupt. Patricia continues, unaware. I mean, I do all the work here. I take care of her while he's gone. I run the house. I make it look perfect, and he's sending me money like clockwork. One friend bites her lip, uneasy. That seems a little risky, don't you think? Patricia waves her off, smirk widening. Relax, he's in love, blind love. Ha, perfect setup. Mrs. Nyla tilts her head. She listens, calm, quiet. Her eyes, though still appearing soft, scan the backyard, the patio, the neighbors' houses across Cedar Ridge Drive. Subtle, precise, calculating. Patricia laughs again, loud, sharp, full of confidence. Honestly, I don't even care about him. I just want the life, the money, the house, the trips, the luxury. Half of everything. Another friend hesitates. Do you think maybe she's taking this too far? Patricia spins toward her, almost gleeful. Too far? No, not at all. I'm just being honest. If he wants to give it, I'll take it. What's wrong with that? Mrs. Nyla folds the napkin into a neat square. Her fingers are steady, her face calm. Not a flinch, not a twitch. Patricia leans back, tossing her hair. Honestly, the world's full of people who overthink. I see the opportunity, I take it. That's how you win. That's how you get ahead. The words hang in the air, hot and heavy in the sunlight. Patricia doesn't notice the quiet strength behind the calm woman she underestimates.
The sunlight streams through the floor-to-ceiling window of the Houston hotel room. Downtown hums below. Cars crawl along Main Street. Horns beep somewhere in the distance. Juma sits on the edge of the king-sized bed. The sheets are white, crisp. Divorce papers spread out in front of him. His pen hovers over the last signature line. He doesn't rush, doesn't hesitate. Every line, every clause, every detail has been checked. Assets, accounts, property, investments, all under one name, Mrs. Nyla. He picks up the pen. His hand is steady. No anger, no shaking. He signs. The sound of the pen scratching paper echoes lightly in the quiet room. He leans back, staring at the ceiling. The sunlight shifts. Shadows of the blinds fall across his face. He doesn't smile. He doesn't frown. He just breathes slowly. A soft breeze from the cracked window moves the papers slightly. Juma picks them up carefully, folding them, placing them neatly in his briefcase. A cup of coffee steams beside him. He takes a slow sip, eyes never leaving the city below. He remembers the last video call, his mother's soft voice, Patricia's arrogance. He thinks about Patricia laughing in the sunlit backyard on Cedar Ridge Drive, wine spilling, friends cheering. Juma exhales, quietly. No one else knows what's coming. He runs a hand over his face, pulls on his shirt sleeve. He taps the briefcase closed. The lock clicks. Everything is ready. The divorce is filed, official, legal. But the trap, the real trap, hasn't snapped yet. The front door at 214 Cedar Ridge Drive swings open with a sharp click. Patricia freezes mid-laugh, phone still in hand. Wineglass teeters on the edge of the wicker table. Friends jerk back, eyes wide. What? One of them stammers, voice trailing off. Mrs. Nyla sits tied in the dining chair near the sunlit kitchen window. Her wrists are still bound with the scarf Patricia had used earlier. She doesn't move, doesn't flinch. Juma stands in the doorway, tall, calm, every inch in control. Sunlight falls across his shoulders. His briefcase hangs at his side. No yelling, no threats, just quiet, heavy presence. Patricia's smirk falters. Juma? What are you... He doesn't answer. He steps inside slowly,
carpet crunches under his shoes. His eyes sweep across the backyard patio and the living room. Wine splashed on the floor, chairs knocked over, a phone on the ground still recording. Friends shuffle uncomfortably. One tries to smile. "Hey, we were just, Juma doesn't look at them. He stops in front of Patricia, hands her a crisp white envelope, her name neatly written across the top. Patricia gapes. What is this?" Still no words from Juma, only the quiet weight of his gaze. Nyla doesn't react, just sits, calm, head slightly tilted, eyes forward, every detail registered, every laugh, every insult, every move Patricia made during his absence. Patricia clutches the envelope, fingers tremble slightly, confidence wavers. She glances at her friends. They avoid eye contact. Is this divorce papers?" she asks finally, voice sharp but unsure. Juma's hand rests on the briefcase, silent, steady. She rips open the envelope. Papers rustle. Her eyes scan quickly. Her confident posture falters. Her smile wobbles. "Wait, this can't be right," she says, voice rising. Mrs. Nyla shifts just slightly in the chair as Juma unties the scarf, freeing her from the chair. Patricia's friends murmur, "What's happening?" Patricia flips through the papers, hands shake. All the assets, property, accounts, investments under her name? You can't." Juma finally speaks, calm, controlled. "Everything you wanted, none of it matters now. All the assets, property, accounts, investments are under my mom's name. Legally, you're entitled to nothing." Patricia's friends murmur, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" Patricia throws her hands in the air, pacing now. No, this isn't fair. I did everything." She spins toward Mrs. Nyla. "This is your fault. You tricked him."
Mrs. Nyla rises from the chair, slowly, deliberately, every movement confident. She doesn't reach for anything, doesn't use a cane. Her hands hang at her sides. Patricia's mouth opens, closes, opens again. Words fail her. Nyla's gaze locks onto Patricia, clear, sharp, piercing through the layers of arrogance and cruelty Patricia had draped over herself for months. I was never blind," Nyla says, voice steady. A quiet, slow pulse of tension spreads across the room. Patricia sways back, nearly hitting the glass table. "No, that's not possible." Mrs. Nyla steps closer, calm, measured. "Yes, and you revealed who you really are. You just thought you could humiliate me, control me, use me, but you were the one being tested." Her words cut through Patricia's bravado like a knife. The envelope from Juma lies on the table. Divorce papers, asset listings, all legal, all untouchable. Every threat Patricia had relied on suddenly meaningless. "Take your things and leave. It's over," Juma says, firm, final. Outside, Patricia's bags scrape across the driveway. One tips over. Clothes spill out, spread across the concrete. She keeps walking. Her friends follow behind her, quiet, eyes down. No one helps. Cedar Ridge Drive stays calm, lawns trimmed, doors shut. The street lets her go. Inside, sunlight fills the living room. Mrs. Nyla stands still, feeling the warmth on her face. She closes her eyes and breathes, slow, steady. No smile, no victory pose, just peace. Juma watches her. His chest tightens. "I thought I failed you," he says. "I thought I chose wrong." Mrs. Nyla turns toward him. Her voice is soft, sure. "You chose patience," she says, "and you protected what mattered." She rests her hand on the arm of the chair. "Not every fight needs noise," she adds. "Some battles are won by waiting."